Matt Bradley asks, apologies if this rambles on a bit, but I was wondering about the stage setups after watching the Motorhead show last night on YouTube, presumably. Does the guitar sound where we hear come from the wall of Marshalls on the stage, or are they just for show? And does the sound come out of the big PA speakers at the front? And what can you actually hear on stage? I've heard that some bands play to a clicker through the earphones. Probably a really dumb question, but I've always wondered. Well, Matt, it's absolutely not a dumb question at all. It's a really good question, and one that no one asks. And I'm still come to terms with this one myself. Traditionally, as in with Motorhead, you have a backline, which is all your wall of Marshalls, Marshall amps and cabs, and they're usually traditionally switched on so you can hear them. And that gets over the drum kit, which is usually the loudest thing in the group. So that's what the band hear on stage. And then all of the other things that they need to hear, like vocals and lead guitars and stuff like that. Or if it's a huge stage, maybe they even need to hear the backline, and the drummer comes out of the boxes in front of them that are called monitors. And that's where their stuff comes out. This is traditionally. And then to make it really, really loud, it comes out of the big PA speakers that are either side of the stage. That's what the audience hear. That's what you at the back can hear. If you turn the speakers off, them big PA speakers, you probably would just hear a very tinny little drum kit at the far end of the room. These days, though, what is traditional is in-ear monitors. Now, in-ear monitors have replaced the big boxes at the front there that people hear can I turn my vocals up and all the rest of it. It's all in these things that you wear inside your ear. A lot of the times the audience can't even see them, and they're potentially great because they're really nice and clear, but they don't work for me, and I'll go into that in a second. But they eventually replaced the backline, the wall of Marshalls. Now people have their guitars through a little thing called traditionally a Kemper, and a Kemper is an amp that simulates lots and lots of different guitar styles and guitar sounds, so you don't have to have amps and cabs. You can just plug into this Kemper, which is about the size of a loaf of bread, and it'll get you a really expensive Marshall 800 JCM or whatever, so you don't have to bring the backline. So a lot of people just scrap that backline altogether, and some people, shame on them, have still brought the backline. It just isn't plugged in. It's just there for looks. And I get it. I think a backline looks great, but it feels a bit pony unless it's working. A lot of the times, these in-ear monitors have taken the place of even the drum kit. So now drummers are using pads instead of the old amplified drum sound. And they're on these in-ears. Now, I like the idea of in-ears in theory, because it means that you're not singing as loud, so your voice lasts for longer. But you're singing, trying to get over a drummer through these boxes at the front, and you're pushing so much more air out that you're going to lose your voice easily. And that's normally what happens. So I try to grapple with these in-ear things. I just cannot get with them. I can't get on with them whatsoever. As soon as I start moving around, they go off or they're pulled out. I watch people in loads and loads of bands using these in-ear monitors, and they don't go off. They're going fucking nuts, jumping all over the place, and they don't go off. Mine, if I fucking move my head, they'll go off. Don't know what it is, but I've resorted to going back to old school methods where we have a backline and it's very much on. We're quite a loud band. We have a drummer, very fucking loud drummer. Charles is an insanely loud drummer, as loud as Rich. And so I've just got a little bit of sponge and I stick it in my lug and it fucking stays there. And I turn these boxes at the front called monitors up to the maximum volume and I deafen myself. Now, the good news is it works and it doesn't go off. Everything's great and I can hear myself. And it means that you can walk around the stage and find little sweet spots. Now, if you're doing it like old school like me, you can walk to where you hear your guitar, and then if you want to hear the other guitar, you walk over to where you can hear both guitars and get a sweet blend. With the in-ears, all you have is that all the time. You walk around the stage, it's exactly the same sound. That fucks me up as well. So over the years, I've lost a lot of the hearing in this ear because I would always plug into this ear. For some reason, I always plug my right ear and and pitch from my own guitar. And I went almost deaf in one ear. So now I'm thinking, you know what, you're going to sacrifice something to the gods of rock and roll. I've sacrificed my hearing, at least in this one ear. It's fucked. But the only way that I can imagine even getting through a tour is by sticking the old fucking school piece of sponge in one ear, listening to your amp through the other ear, and getting your vocals through the front. I will be deaf by the time I die, and hey, whatever, gotta lose something. Christ Almighty, I can't complain about losing losing the sight in one ear. I can't complain about losing my hearing when I've seen so many people dying of drugs and alcohol and fucking just lifestyle choices and just bad fortune, and I'm still here. Can't complain about being a bit mutton Jeff. Denver Watson asks, when you were starting out your career, what did you consider success? And what do you consider success now? Well, Denver, good question. I was talking to my mother about this recently, actually. When I was starting my career, what I considered success would have been to just be accepted, to just be legit, to be seen as a real musician, writing real songs that you like and the audience sings and stuff like that, basic stuff. Didn't really expect much when I was first starting out. So my idea of success would have been that, you've earned a certain amount of credibility as a musician, as a player, as a writer, as a performer. What does it mean now? Well, all the things that I wanted, I got. All the things I really wanted at the start was the acceptance being the main one, because I wanted, fans to check out your band and go, fucking hell, they're really good. I'll tell a friend. And the friend will come along and both tell another friend, and then your audience increases exponentially from point of fact that you're good enough. Well, we got that audience. So what I consider success now is that they stayed. That's what I consider success now, is that they stayed and they kept telling people and they kept telling people, and they had kids and the kids grew up and they started listening to the music. The acceptance, the community that we have now is everything. I often wonder if I did have a fluke fucking hit song off a margarine advert or something and had millions, would anything change as far as values are concerned? And no, the value would be I still love the idea that we've created this community, based on entertaining a dozen people at the beginning. After all this time, that I consider that to be success. Really, that we're still doing this, that we still believe in this, that you lot are still supporting me. Passion, the amount of passion that you guys, the amount of passion we've all got for music, that's success. The way music has come and gone, the different ways of marketing music, the different ways of promoting music as far as bands are concerned. And, now TikTok isn't about audiences, it's about getting attention for 5 minutes. And we're still doing this thing where if I put some concerts on sale, the tickets are going to go, and I'm like, well, that's fucking fantastic still. There's a good chance that wouldn't have happened. So the passion that I've still got for music, the passion that you lot have still got for music, and the passion that you still got for my music, fucking hell, man. It's that lends itself a certain amount of integrity, and that integrity is success for me. I'm excited about the next thing that I'm doing. That's success. Because if I'd got commercial success, and so I was making another album that was based on the sales of the last one, and you've got to make it a bit more like this because the last one didn't do as good business as this, that kind of thing, then yeah, I imagine that wouldn't feel as much like success, even though your bank account would beg to differ. Yeah, making albums based on the commercial success of some other album, would that feel like success? I don't know. That it's one of those things that every now and again I wonder, like, obviously everyone could do with a bit more money, and I wouldn't mind playing arenas instead of just big places, but would it be better? Would it be worse? Would you then end up being on a kind of treadmill of you've got to do this to maintain that? And there's a sweet spot. I've always thought there's a sweet spot in doing this. And I think that give or take some bills coming in that you can't afford to pay, I'm at the sweet spot where I still get to do this for a living. I'm still excited to do it. I'm still excited to write the next album. still getting ideas of like this fucking Ask Ginger live thing, and thinking that we could actually do that if we want to. That would be fun, and you lot would enjoy it, and we'd make it really good. That to me is success. That's all the success that I think I'd ever need. Tom Deadbeat asks, where was the Destroy All Monster video shot, and how did working with Sampa come about? Destroy All Monsters, I forget where it was shot. It was shot somewhere, an old warehouse in London. Sampa, my relationship with Sampa came about was buying what was the magazine where this was for people that were alternative kind of people. Can't remember the name of it now, but I used to love that magazine, my favourite magazine. And I saw a thing about the Psycho Cyborgs, and there was this 4-page spread of them just sticking things in each other, and just the amount of blood and the amount of pain in these pictures. And I'm just like, who are these people? I need to know who these people are. And this is like before the internet. But this is a long time ago, so you couldn't just Google these people and get in touch online. So I got a tour, and I invited them on tour, so I get to know them, find out what it is that they do, and it was just a real enlightening experience. Because what I've always found with those people that seem to find comfort in the extremes of life, they're always pretty, spot on politically, very smart, and usually a lot more sensitive than people give them any credit for. And I just got on with Sampa straight away. Sampa and his partner in crime, who was Bavu B, and them two were kind of like a double act. But Sampa was obviously the main guy, and we just got on. Just ended up just being, mates, hanging out in London, drinking, doing other stuff together. Just a fun person to mix with a lot of really interesting friends, as you can imagine. And this was before he became such a huge star in the bod mod world. And I always just fucking loved, still to this day, really, really fond of the fella. To the point where I said, look, I want to do a video and I want to make it uncomfortable. Would you consider directing it? And he did, and he just, what a fucking mad one. He's a fucking such a genius. He's a genius of discomfort. And there was one scene, he had people hanging by hooks. He had people fucking, he had an effect where he went through this girl's stomach to pull out this little baby that he'd made through with gelatin. And he actually went through the stomach. But because he was an expert in body modification, he knew where to cut on a body and where not to cut. So one of the scenes was him wanting to drive this needle through my neck with a load of green liquid. But instead of being able to just find a trick needle, which he couldn't, and he wanted to be a big thick needle, he just got a huge needle that they use in like back surgery, where they go epidural needle, and just put it right through my neck and out the back, and so he was able to squeeze this green liquid, which squirted out of the end of the needle, which is poking out the back of my neck. And I just thought this was fucking great, just fantastic, going method, as Scott Lee Andrews would put it. If you're going to make a video about pain, and you're not going to go through some pain yourself, you're just going to make the cast members go through it, then I don't know. To me, it wouldn't resonate as a memory worth experiencing. And you got to be careful with those memories, because some of them aren't worth experiencing. So you've got to be pretty strong and solid as where you are before you start thinking. But I can think back about memories working with Sampa, and it was all good because, I was always using some of my blood in amongst the gore. Today it's been a bit of a weird one. It's been a bit of a weird time. I've just been a weird few days, and I have got through them. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. And I keep remembering that it's a cliche, but it's a good one. I keep remembering things like that. It's not a bad life, it's a bad day. And I've been having a few of them on the trot, but it's just a bad day joined on to another bad day. Not a bad life. And I hope that this wasn't a bad podcast, and I hope that my negativity didn't spew out and spoil your listening enjoyment. But I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I got through it. And I hope I pissed off the right people and didn't piss off the wrong people. I hope that the vegans out there didn't mind me saying that. I don't mind animals dying to feed other animals, because I don't. But I do have a problem with cruelty, with man's cruelty towards other people, towards animals, towards children. Man is a fucking cruel motherfucker. Anyway, I hope this hasn't been too much of a bummer. I've done my best and I've got through it, and I hope that was enough. God bless you for having the patience and the understanding to stick with me. It's been hard work, but we got through. As can anyone get through? If you're going through something hard, you just keep pushing. Just because it doesn't feel good doesn't mean that you're stuck in fucking concrete. You still keep moving, even if it takes every fucking bit of your spirit to get through. Like I said, it's not a bad life, it's just a bad day. I'm having a bad day, but I hope that I haven't ruined yours, and I hope there's been something worth listening to in this lot. And I really do appreciate you being here. Stay strong. Love you. Thank you. Bye.